By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how data travels inside a MERN application from the browser, through React, into Express, into MongoDB, and back to the screen again, and you will never feel confused about API flow in MERN ever again. Most developers learn React, then they learn Node, then MongoDB, but they still don't understand how these pieces actually talk to each other in a real project. They can build components, they can write routes, but the full request and response journey stays blurry. So in this video, we are going to follow one single action, like adding a new task in a to-do app, and trace it step by step across the entire MERN stack like you are watching the data travel live. Imagine you are on the React frontend, and you type a task name and click the Add button. The first thing that happens is a function runs inside your React component. This function collects the input value from state and sends it to the backend using fetch or Axios. This is where the frontend stops being just UI and starts acting like a client talking to a server. The request is usually a post request sent to an API endpoint like /API/tasks, and inside the request body, your task data is sent in JSON format. Inside this route, you usually access REQ body. That REQ body contains the exact task data that came from the React app. This is the moment where frontend and backend truly connect. Now the server takes this data and talks to MongoDB using Mongoose. You create a new task model instance and call save. This is where the data leaves your server code and gets stored inside the database as a document in a collection. MongoDB saves the task and sends a response back to Express saying the document is created successfully. Express then prepares a response, usually the saved task object, and sends it back to the React app as JSON. This response travels back over the internet to the browser. Now React receives this response inside the promise of fetch or Axios. You take this new task data and update your state using useState. The moment state updates, React re-renders the component automatically, and you see the new task appear on the screen without refreshing the page. This is the complete MERN data cycle. What looks like a simple button click is actually a full journey across 4 technologies. React handles the UI and sends the request. Express receives it and processes it. MongoDB stores the data. Express sends it back. React updates the view. Now let's talk about fetching data. When the page loads, React runs useEffect. Inside it, a GET request is sent to /API/tasks. Express catches this request, runs the route, fetches all tasks from MongoDB using find, and returns them. React stores them in state and renders them in a list. This is why when you refresh the page, your data is still there, because it lives in the database, not in React. Understanding this flow is the key to mastering MERN, because once you understand this, you can build anything. Blog apps, e-commerce apps, dashboards, chat apps, anything works on this same pattern of request, process, store, respond, render. Also notice something important. React never talks directly to MongoDB. It always talks to Express, and Express is the only one that talks to MongoDB. This separation is what makes the architecture clean, secure, and scalable. If you ever feel stuck in MERN projects, it is usually because this flow is not clear in your mind. But once you visualize the journey of data like this, everything starts to make sense. Routes, controllers, models, state, hooks, APIs, all of them become parts of one single story. So the next time you build a feature in MERN, don't just write code. Ask yourself, where is the data coming from? Where is it going? And how is it coming back to the UI? That question alone will make you think like a full-stack developer. And that is the real goal. Not just learning tools, but understanding how they work together as one.